action.
Goba, my man, how you doing?
Hey, I'm well, chaps. How you doing?
Good. Are you well rested? Because you weren't recording with us last weekend. So is your mind ready to go for this upcoming game week?
Yeah, I'm good. And I can see that you upbeat, so you also recovered from the previous game weeks, but it's good. That's how it is, I guess.
Yeah. Well, what can I say? When you see your enemies struggling at the bottom, what else can you do? You have to be upbeat. So yeah, especially when you really see them struggling, like yourself. But anyway, enough about me and your troubles. Let's go on to your transfer plans for this weekend.
Yeah, no, thanks, chaps, for your usual banter. But it's really not fair that you're not around when times are tough for you, but you're definitely there when you're on top. Just to let everybody know. But in terms of your question, transfer plans. I think the biggest elephant in the room is Haaland. I don't see him playing in Gameweek 17. With the blank as well in 18. He was always on the cards for me that I was going to need to just free up those funds for that blank. So definitely I'll be considering him out. Looking at maybe Solanke out of the strikers. He's got decent form. 22 chances in his last 6 games. I think in terms of the strikers, he's doing well. In defense as well, I'm gonna look to probably take a hit. For Johnson, I'll take Johnson out, and then I'm still looking at maybe getting like the Dubravka from Newcastle. But other than that, looking at the team for now, I would say I'm quite happy. You know.
Thank you, G. Thank you, gentlemen, for your banter. And your team has been having some players performing for you, despite your position on the table. Pedro Porro, for one. This week, is there a player who you think that maybe you could be taking a punt on that could come into the team for you?
Yeah, no, thanks, Kat. Like funny enough, the last couple of game weeks, the team has been steadying along, getting the points done. I have been getting green arrows, not red ones. So the team is moving in the right direction. Fair enough, in the table, maybe there hasn't been much movement, but steady does it. There are these game weeks that are coming that I'm really hoping I'll turn the corner. So looking at my team in terms of the punt, I think I partially answered that with Chap's question with Haaland and Solanke. I think for me, Solanke would be the punt, and also obviously be that relief for Haaland. I think that's how I'd play that punt, purely for the fact, as I'd mentioned, attacking wise, he is on form. And there's no other attacking player that I'm actually really looking at targeting, especially because with game week 18, I really need to utilize that game week with the funds that I'll get from Haaland. So it'll definitely be Solanke, and then just crossing fingers that he delivers. Yeah.
Thanks, Gova. Just to go back to your horrifying league position, please can you just elaborate for us exactly what is your plan now going forward in terms of reaching where you're supposed to be on the table? Because currently you're sitting at 7th, and you're quite, okay, you're not that far off from me and from third place. So what is your strategy to get yourself back up there where you supposedly supposed to be?
No, thanks, chaps, for obviously pointing out that you are higher than me in the league. But in terms of my plan, well, first of all, I've still got my wild card. Okay, so that's the most important chip I've still got. So that is what I'm looking to just bring in the right type of players. I'm not necessarily trying to do anything different to what I've been doing, because I think now how like the team is, and in terms of keep on scoring above your average game weeks, I'm moving in the right direction. Um, I do believe that with FPL, you should never panic, you know, and it's always better to have those guys who are going to banter and have a lot to say. Um, I've been in this position before. I'll keep saying that, and a certain individual has been in the same position before, and things turn out otherwise. It's FPL, so definitely just utilize my wild card, get in the right type of players. I've still got my triple captain. I've still got my bench boost. Um, Listen out to what the pros are doing. That's one thing I must say has really helped. In terms of making sure you're getting all the information about the players and the teams. Because this time of the season, it's not about emotions. It's about the numbers. The numbers don't lie. If a player's on form, he's on form. If he's not, he's not. You might like him, you might like the fixture, but if he himself is not necessarily getting in the right positions, he's not bringing in those attacking threats, assisting, shots on targets, passes completed, battles won, um, it's not going to happen. So that's one thing I must say that it's been different from when I started in the season, where I was not necessarily going into the shrewd details in terms of really saying, look, who's the best player for this position in terms of team performance and contribution to the team. When you look at a team like Fulham, how they've been playing, there's some really nice assets there. If you look at the numbers, you can look at your Jimenez, you can look at your Willian. It's a team that's really like on the outskirts, but they're playing good football. They've got good assets. So it's such observations that I think is really going to change my season. Yeah, I think in a nutshell, I've put it out there. Sure.
Thank you. It's good to see you still have faith in yourself and your ability, despite your position on the table. I hear this, so-called strategy plan. Keep it easy, don't be emotional. But do you not think that you should be taking some risks at this point in time? We're entering slowly the middle of the season. Talk about such risks as maybe choosing a different captain, like Son would have been for a good captain for you this past game week. I see you have the armband on Salah right now, but is there another captaincy that you see this week that could probably help you edge closer to top positions?
Yeah, no. Thanks, Kat, for that. No, look, like with the season as well, you've also got to take into consideration that like after what game week 21, we've got CAF and what the Asian Cup. So I mean, a lot of these assets that we're all banking on won't be around. You look at your Salahs, he won't be around. Your Son won't be around. So there's still a lot of games, to get in. So at the moment, the only risks I'm willing to take is those like hits here and there. Not to panic. No, not at all. I just need one really, really, really good game week, and certain players can have a really, really bad game week, and then things change. At one point I was 12th, so I'm 7th now. There is progress. That's all I'm interested in seeing, progress in the team. In terms of captaincy, with trying to keep up and maintain any form of competitiveness, it's very, very difficult to not captain Haaland if he's playing, or Salah. Especially when Salah's playing Man United at home. I'm a Man United fan, wholehearted. And if there's one team that I think is an easy beat at the moment, is Man United. Okay? And then you're going to go play Liverpool at home. The last season, these guys gave us 7. Salah's going to score. There's no Bruno Fernandes in the team. It's sketchy. Harry Maguire, sketchy. Luke Shaw. So that whole midfield, that whole back line, it's players that haven't been playing. He's bound to do something. I'm even seeing a hat trick. It's going to be a very high scoring game. But if you had to look elsewhere, I mean, if you've got Son, definitely, he's also been producing amazingly. Postecoglou, that attacking football that Spurs is playing, it's really, really exciting and interesting. Like I was actually looking at their fullbacks. Your Udogie, your Pedro Porro. Since like Madison is not around, that midfield, they're in and they're out. They play a very like high line, high attacking, and we didn't expect Spurs to be banging in these goals. Yes, they concede. You're definitely not going to get any clean sheets from them. But going forward, they are a force to be reckoned. So Son would definitely also a nice differential captain. Other than that, I wouldn't really see anyone else. Already at home, not necessarily. It's going to be one of those games. But definitely Son, if you've got him. But for me, looking at what the whole community is doing, you don't want to give someone else the armband and then Salah goes hat trick. And you'd be like, oh man, I should have just, Thank you.
Thank you for that, Goba. Quite the optimist, I see. You just had to put it in there that you jumped from 12th to 7th. Even though the competition down there is not that good. So I don't even know why you're bothering with that. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, you mentioned that you had a wild card. So I just want you to briefly just explain to us. Most of, FPL managers have pretty much got the template team, maybe with a few differentials here and there. In terms of your team, if you were to activate the wild card now, from this team, who would you change?
Thanks for that question, chaps. That's actually it's a difficult question because looking at we're in game week, going into game week 17. So ideally, my whole plan was to use the wild card for the double game week, where Brentford and City have those 2 games. So up until that game is confirmed, obviously I'd be looking into bringing back Haaland, seeing what other City assets are there. That's if he's still available. If he's still injured, then maybe not. But I'll definitely be getting 3 City players in, then obviously moving to Brentford. Initially, Burmo was the guy that we were all eyeing out. There's also a young Pinnock there in the defense, so it would definitely be looking at him. Maybe Lascelles would shift out, and then I'd bring Pinnock in there. In the midfield, definitely I'm looking at moving Diaby. Looking at the previous games, Bay was starting. Yes, he limped off the previous game, but I just feel that there are other assets that could definitely chip in a lot better than what he's been doing in the previous game weeks. And Bowen as well. I'm not necessarily looking to keep him for long because he's also had a tough time. West Ham, I don't know. West Ham have just turned a corner these past 2 game weeks. They haven't necessarily looked as solid. And with Bowen as well, he's been silent. So he's also someone I'd have to look at getting out. But definitely, most of my decisions will heavily lean on the confirmation of that Brentford City double game week and then move towards there. Thanks.